Alabama defensive back Minkah Fitzpatrick probably won't be in the green room very long on draft night. In 2017, he won the Jim Thorpe Award for the nation's best defensive back and the Chuck Bednarik Award for best defensive player. Also a two-time national champion, Fitzpatrick has been one of the leaders for Alabama's vaunted defense for the past 3 seasons. Fitzpatrick had the look of a future star when we met him at St. Peter's Prep in New Jersey. There he was teammates with current Notre Dame quarterback Brandon Wimbush. Fitzpatrick played on both sides of the ball, and he is one of the most exciting players in America.
Minkah is probably one of the most competitive football players I've ever had here. Just loves the game, has a tremendous passion for it, and really takes pride in working his craft. He believes that he could be the best football player in the country, and he does everything every day in the classroom, outside of the classroom, in the weight room, on the field, to make that come true.
Fitzpatrick is all over the field, and he wouldn't have it any other way.
That's when I do best, because this is that first play. You don't know what could happen, and then as you start warming up, you just get more used to it, being on the field, and start having fun. I'm very versatile. I play about 4 or 5 different positions on the field. I'm a playmaker and I'm aggressive.
Our goal is to find a way to get him the ball 30 times a game, whether that's handing the ball off in the backfield, throwing him the football, making sure he secures punts or kicks. However we can revolve things around him as part of the bigger picture, I think we can be more effective.
I mean, he's a great player to play with, just his athletic abilities and the way he can run the ball and catch the ball. So, I mean, it's really easy to throw him the ball because I know he'll go get it for me. And it's happened a bunch of times last year where I just try to get it out there, and he makes a play for me, and he makes me look all right, and vice versa as well. So, I mean, the aspects he brings to the field, and it makes it easier for everybody around him.
Fitzpatrick could be the first defensive player taken this year. He'll almost certainly go in the top 10, and maybe even as high as 4th overall to the Cleveland Browns. Quarterbacks are in high demand in every NFL draft, and this year is no different. There are a number of potential first-rounders in this draft, and UCLA's Josh Rosen is one that we met a few years ago. When he was at St. John Bosco in Bellflower, California, Josh was one of the nation's highest-rated QB prospects.
I just love the fact that it's a chess match throughout the entirety of a game, but at the same time, you can just send someone deep, and it's so calculated, but at the same time, you can just physically impose your will on another team that may be inferior just outright.
While he has all the physical gifts you'd want in a prospect, Josh says his mental approach sets him apart.
I describe myself as a player who can check the box in every physical department, but there's always my X factor of being able to beat someone with my mind and get into the right play and not maybe need to use that 60-yard arm I pride myself on and get someone open by 5-10 yards, so it's just an easy pitch and catch.
We could throw anything we want at him in terms of an offensive scheme, block protections, putting us in the right play, in the right formations, understanding the entire scope of the offense. He's special. He's very special in that regards because of his intellect and the ability that he has to learn the game plan and prepare.
Rosen is likely to go somewhere in the first round, and the way NFL teams scoop up quarterbacks, don't be surprised if he winds up somewhere in the top 10. The Browns, Giants, Jets, Broncos, and Cardinals are just a few of the possible landing spots for Rosen. One of the best offensive weapons in this year's draft is wide receiver Calvin Ridley of Alabama. The two-time national champion has been a big play threat for 3 seasons in Tuscaloosa. We met Calvin when he was a 5-star prospect at Monarch High School in Coconut Creek, Florida.
I'm fast. I'm just like an all-over guy, can do it all.
He's electric. Anytime he touches the ball, he can score a touchdown. He just brings an added dimension to the football game. Anytime you come to a game and you watch, you could tell he's one of the best players on the field.
There are plenty of teams in the middle of the first round that could use a talent like Ridley. He probably won't come off the board any later than 19 when the Dallas Cowboys will be on the clock. Another big play threat to watch for in the first round, Texas A&M star Christian Kirk. He may not be the biggest wide receiver in the draft at about 5'11" tall, but he has every other skill that scouts could want. The same was said of him during his prep days at Arizona Power Saguaro High School. He was a 5-star prospect and led the SaberCats to 2 state championships.
I have the speed, quickness, and I understand the game. I understand where my routes are supposed to be, and if one route's supposed to open up a guy behind me, or if I'm supposed to go deep and open up something else. So I have a great understanding. I take pride in my routes, stuff like that. So and I can jump too. I can make up for that shortness.
This sure-handed playmaker should come off the board at some point in the first 2 rounds.